I started DJing actually just at the start of this year through a program called Irregular Fit, which is basically a DIY arts platform that focuses on giving people of colour a platform to start making art, and this was particularly in the realm of the DJ world. So I'd never touched decks before, but I've been surrounded by electronic music and love dancing, love raving, love all of that.
And what inspired you to get started in that realm?
I think it was definitely the people I was hanging around, and the events I was going to were, just like lots of fun electronic music events on the weekend. And I really enjoyed them, and I thought, why not just give it a go? I didn't really have plans to, take it too seriously necessarily, but I just wanted to know how to do it, and if I liked it, I would, continue and just see where it took me. And here I am, just still mixing, enjoying, particularly now in lockdown, just having something fun to do and learn. It's been great. So social media has been a huge platform for keeping in contact and also making new contacts, even in Sydney through to Melbourne, internationally. So many people around the world who are working or artists in the music scene. Obviously it's been shut down. There are so many different platforms that are going, and also there's been a lot of live streams that have been happening, particularly at the start of lockdown. Everyone was like, oh my god, we can't go clubbing anymore, what are we going to do? And there were huge amounts of live streams left, right and centre, and people just reaching out across different collectives, across groups, and finding more and more people to kind of cross-collaborate, which I think has brought a community closer together, and definitely for me as what I would say a very new DJ.
Yeah.
I've met heaps of people, like a lot virtually, that I wouldn't have otherwise, because there's like a newfound solidarity, I guess. Connected with different groups and collectives that are located in Melbourne, ones that are located overseas, and just kind of stayed in contact with them because you're going through the same sort of struggle, and it's nice to, I don't know, it's always great to see people doing things that are similar to you and just genuinely liking their work and what they're doing, and vice versa. Just also fun just connecting with new and different people. So for social media, I find Instagram's been the best to connect with other DJs and other collectives in the scene. Also there's a few groups that I'm kind of involved with located in Sydney. As I mentioned, Irregular Fit, that's headed by Iva Tanya, who is also a Sydney DJ. She's done a lot of work with people of colour platforms, LGBT, just helping people get their work out there. Another group I've been working with is called Free House, and I've got a bunch of friends who run that, and they have a radio show every week where they get different artists on and they mix live on the show. Obviously that's been a bit difficult now with the restrictions of how many people can be in a studio at once. But just being able to meet different people through those platforms. And also, radio in general. FBI is doing a lot of great stuff as well. A lot of community radio stations doing music.
And with
there are a lot more mixes released online, so I'm seeing myself and a lot of my other friends pre-recording mixes for collectives, and then those collectives releasing like a mix series where they'll get a bunch of different artists from all around to send in mixes, and that's the good thing, I guess, because everything's kind of become a bit more virtual. We're able to connect in a different way and from completely different sides of the country and even the world. So it's been nice. I've had people reach out to me from Melbourne to do mixes, and then I've done mixes for mostly like Sydney-based groups, but they've got people from all around as well, which is pretty cool. Because I'm quite new to the whole mixing world. I find it's easy to get lost in genres, but how I would describe it on surface would be I play mostly techno music, sometimes a little bit of house, but it's all on the harder end of the spectrum, so a lot of high BPM, experimental sometimes, quite hypnotic style techno, Yeah, just stuff that I would think you'd hear maybe at a rave.
Yeah.
Or if you're really wanting to have a boogie.
Yeah.
Rather than a chill one.
Yeah. Love it.
Yeah. I think it changes all the time. I love how, I guess, finding music now that I'm trying to think of what I want to be mixing. I'm delving into things in music that I wouldn't have heard before, and like a lot of stuff from countries that, I don't know, music I hadn't listened to before. At the moment, I'm really enjoying a lot of Russian techno.
Yeah. So
the artist that I'm listening to a lot is called Vladimir Dubishin. I don't know if that's pronounced correctly, but hypnotic and different to what I've heard before. And even like lots of Polish artists, there's one in particular called Indecorum, and they do like, I wouldn't even know how to describe it, but from trancey to Gabba style.
Yeah.
Really like their stuff too. It's just lots of fun.
Yeah.
All around me. So depending on who music I've been listening to, a lot of local DJs, it's nice to hear the sound that people are playing and what people are listening to kind of understand what people like and what people want. Obviously that's not the main concern when you're doing your own mix, because it's about what you like, but it's also nice to see what other people enjoy and take that into consideration. And also when like building your mix, where you want to put like the faster and slower songs and just the progression that you're wanting. Obviously at the start the live streaming thing was fun. It was pretty novel in that people got on board, and then everyone was like, okay, I don't really care that much about watching a stream every second day.
Yeah.
But obviously there's still streams that people getting on board with, but I think more so the mix series that I was talking about earlier, just releasing mixes more often of different people, particularly on SoundCloud, and giving people the opportunity to listen to that in their own time has been good. And I've definitely listened to a lot more SoundCloud mixes, and it's just fun to hear what people are playing. Also hear songs that maybe you've heard before but you think, oh, this is such a random song, and hear someone else playing, you're like, oh cool, like people are finding all this similar stuff. And yeah, I feel like mix series have been a big part of that. Yeah, it's so quickly evolving though. It just changes all the time. And I think slowly things are coming back. There's a more sit down music events that are happening as well. So live music seems to start to trickling back in, and people are having smaller parties.
True.
With people playing live. Like I went to a party recently, and like there's been a few parties I've gone to with decks, and it's just been so fun to see people like jumping on. Having a play around and not taking it too seriously though. Cause it's just a bit of fun. Foremost, I think people are loving house parties at the moment, because it's like the closest thing to freedom.
Within your
in
own
the sense
home.
of what we knew. In your own home or in a friend's home. And otherwise I think the sit down events are a cool idea. It's what we have to do right now. Obviously it's not ideal, but you gotta work with what you got. Just one big learning curve. I think the more I learn, the more I realise there's so much more to learn. Which is a bit scary, but it's also fun because I'm able to put mixes together and enjoy them and have people enjoy them, and it's just, as long as I have that base and I can just continue building from that, that's my main concern, and just take my time. I can't compare myself to people who've been playing for years. And I think the main thing is I've definitely been thinking more about song selection and how it works together, and the flow that I want to create now. Whereas before I was kind of just like, does this song fit? Okay. There's just so many different things to learn. I'm practicing on a controller at the moment, which it's good. I kind of want to try on, I don't know, buy some decks or something like that, so I have that proper experience, because I think because I'm just playing at home, not playing out anywhere, I've gotten used to using the controller, whereas when I started being able to use decks out and other people's things, and just kind of get that experience on different modes was good for learning.
So do you have access to decks with a regular?
Yeah, so we had access to decks when we were doing the program, which was great.
Yeah.
At the moment, there's not really like a space to be accessing decks other than just at friends' places or parties, which is also great. But yeah, that's definitely something I think that can keep people out of jumping into DJing. It's quite expensive to
how
invest
like
in decks.
ballpark?
Actually, like I would love to. I just want to get better at DJing firstly, so that I feel confident in being able to just play kind of off the cuff on different sorts of devices. I'd love to produce, but that's not my focus right now. I just want to kind of focus on DJing, improving.
Yeah.
And then when I've gotten to a stage where I'm sure I'll never be like content, I'll be like, yeah, I've gotten to this point. But a stage where I feel is a bit better, then I'll look more into producing. My final semester of uni, which is exciting.
And what's your degree?
I study arts and law. Yeah. What else? I hang out with friends. Boogie.
Yeah.
I do a bit of drawing here and there. Just muck around. I don't really know what I'm doing. I think that's part of it though.
Yeah.
Make things. Yeah. Especially this year because there's been, I don't know, with COVID and everything and just having time to try new things. Like, try new things is my literal favourite thing to do.
Yeah.
So, just whether it's starting DJing or like, during COVID I just like picked up a pen and was like, drawing would be fun.
Yeah.
Getting into that. And like knowing that you're going to actually suck at the start is like important because I think so many people get turned off like learning new things because they're like, oh, this person's just good at music because that's what they're good at. Yeah. But you always start
shit.
Yeah, like dancing, music, whatever. Yeah, that's probably my main takeaway from this whole randomness. Just like, if you want to do something, just try it and keep going if you like it. And you're going to get better. Like, there's no way you can't get better if you keep trying.